I'm George Proctor, the chair of the department. I'm also a professor. I'm also an alumni. I went to Cal Poly for undergrad in the urban planning department and in architecture, and I went on to grad school at Harvard. And I've been teaching there for 27 years. I'm a licensed architect. I would go mid-morning and drive a little bit after the traffic had slowed down, and then spend most of my day at Cal Poly and usually well into the evening, and then return late at night. So my current day, what's actually good is that I go on walks now. Otherwise, everything is sitting all day long. That's not very healthy. I'm sure that's the case for many people. Long walks are good. I live at the beach, so most often the dog and I walk either in the morning or in the evening, walk down to the pier and back. Actually, I learned to appreciate the drive because I listen to lots of books. And so one of the things that's happened without that drive is I found that my book listening has been curtailed. Oddly enough, my day seems to be more full now than it was before. I think the boundaries between work and home life are really blurred. And I'm sure that's the case for a lot of people. I think having access to people and spaces and places to accomplish things is a kind of frustration in this period. I'm sure that's not unique to anyone. I go on walks now. Nowadays, I think it's probably with so much of our lives being on a flat land screen, it's important to have some sort of kind of physical experience being out in the world. What probably needs to happen is moving forward is not making a facility at the campus that people go to, but making environments where people can go retreat to wherever they live and perhaps gather up in smaller groups. Maybe it meets health codes and stuff so that students can actually interact and learn that way. And maybe the institution that offers the instruction, a lot of this can probably be run through Blackboard, through synchronous or asynchronous means, using teleconferencing like we're doing in this conversation. But I think there needs to be a substitute. Ways of accommodating a kind of mixture of experiences. I think whether it's school or work or anything, I think the positives that have come out of this is that we've learned there's other ways to work that a lot of people were refusing to adopt before. So I think there's a lot of interaction that works very effectively in the kind of teleconferencing mode like we're in right now. Something about it makes it much more focused, right? But life doesn't work if it's stripped of all of these other kind of physical experiences. So how to make those possible, I think is crucial to moving forward. If this extended and lasts longer, life can't be rendered to just the 2D land. And I don't think that the answer is VR. Anybody who says VR, I'm sorry. Back in the days when that was first tested out, there was a lot of sort of fantastic ideas about it. Maybe the holodeck on the Starship Enterprise, that's an interesting way to see it too. But it's not just simply a matter you can walk around and move your arms while you've got a heads-up display on and get a sense that you're somewhere, but it's also that you can breathe the air of a place and smell what it's like to be there and hear the kind of multi-dimensional sounds of people interacting and talking. When we're stripped of all that, life becomes very flat. And I think as a part of an educational experience, this can't be discounted. This can't be taken away. And I think the question of questioning data and going to the source and not just taking what you're being fed is crucial to any conversation. Question stuff, know what the data means, and ask the serious questions. Sometimes, so if the preponderance of people are most affected by this are north of 85 in terms of the severe impact, death, right? That's the group that really needs the kind of insulation and the protection. And we should care for them in a way that's set aside from the rest of us. But the rest of the world can't stop functioning. What happens to the future? What happens to the future when the people who sort of grow up in this period see the world as flatland? When we purposely train people to become architects to see the world as being multidimensional and interactive and full of the, you know, sort of vibrant experiences of all kinds of people coming together and doing things. And we design for that. We don't design for flatland.